So it's Saturday the 28th of January now, and I'm back in the USA after having flown from Sydney on QF7, which is the Airbus A380 operating direct from Sydney to Dallas. Once again, I used my Bad Elf GPS units to record the flight, and it's a seamless log without any dropouts. I'll talk about that in a separate video because I've also got some footage from a couple of Galaxy tabs. But during this flight, I took the opportunity also to just compare the position of the wingtip to the horizon as we were climbing, and I specifically requested an upper deck seat on the right hand side with a window just for these experiments, and I was nicely in line with the wingtip. So what we're looking at there is just my seating position looking out across the wing. We're on the ground in Sydney just as we were taxiing out for takeoff. Now you'll notice the wingtip is significantly below the horizon. Just discount that because when the aircraft is on the ground, the wing will be flexing down under its own weight. But once the aircraft gets airborne, the wing is supporting the rest of the weight of the aircraft, so it's going to be flexing upwards. As we took off, this is at about 5,000 to 6,000 feet. You'll notice the position of the horizon is just cutting through the bottom of that winglet. Now as we climbed further, you'll see that the horizon was definitely dropping. And as we get up to cruise altitude, and I reference it all via the altimeter in the GPS, you'll see that the horizon is dropping even further. What I did, and you'll see this in the video, is I just moved the camera up and down in the window just to show that there was no perspective that was causing the change in the position of the horizon. It was actually just related to the altitude. When we're up in the cruise, you'll see just how much it has changed from originally being up here. You see there's several degrees drop, as you would expect operating up at around 36,000 feet. So what you'll notice with a lot of the flat earth videos that talk about the horizon rising to eye level, they don't have any accurate reference. You've got to be able to compare it to what the true level position is, and the only way you can do that is to have something like a head-up display in my other video where it shows the true level, or if you don't have access to that, sitting as a passenger, measure the angle to the horizon when you're at low altitude, and then do it again when you're at high altitude, and you'll see exactly the same sort of deviation as what you're about to see in the video. When we were coming into land, just in the last part, you'll see the horizon was right up near the wingtip again. So anyway, I'll just play this video. You can watch it, and it's fairly clear evidence that the horizon actually does drop as we gain altitude. What I'm going to try and do on this flight also is just show the relative position of the horizon to the wing, and see if that changes from low altitude to high altitude. Now obviously the wingtip is below the horizon, clear there, but it's not really a valid demonstration because there's no weight on the wing, so the wing would be flexing down. Once we get airborne and the wing is supporting the weight of the aircraft, it will actually be flexing up. So it's not actually a fair comparison to compare it when it's on the ground. You have to get the aircraft in the air. We'll take a look at it again. So we're just approaching 6,000 feet on climb after taking off from Sydney, and that's about 1,700 metres altitude. If we have a look out the window, just notice where the horizon is in relation to the wingtip at this altitude. What I'm going to do is just move the camera down and up in the window. You see there's very little perspective change on the wingtip. And what I'll do again, once we're at cruise altitude in the 30,000 feet plus, we'll have another look at where that horizon is in relation to the wing. So now just over 7,000 feet altitude. So we've now climbed about another 11,000 feet. We're just passing 18,000 feet, still climbing. 5,500 metres. And if we look at the wing now, you'll see the lower part of the winglet is now above the horizon. At lower altitude it was actually just intersecting the horizon. Again, we'll just move the camera up and down to make sure it's not just perspective causing this. The lower part of the winglet is above the horizon, and we're not even at 20,000 feet yet, so you'll see once we get up to the mid-30s, cruising altitude, it's going to show the horizon has dropped even further. So just passing 21,000 feet now on climb, 6,400 metres. Still have a good GPS lock. Now what I want you to notice is that the horizon is now clearly below the lower part of the winglet on the wing, and again I'll move the camera up and down in the window so you can see it's not being caused by any perspective. In the previous part of the video where we were at lower altitude, the lower part of the winglet was actually crossing the horizon. Now you can see it's clearly above, and we're not turning because we're still maintaining our direction of 069 degrees. So the aircraft is actually not turning. You're getting a realistic perspective of the wingtip in relation to the horizon. So we're approaching 30,000 feet now, still climbing, still heading 069 degrees, almost 9,000 metres. And if we have a look now again at the wingtip, you'll see that the horizon has dropped even further. Very, very obvious now. Now remember that when we first started this, the horizon was there, in line with that part of the winglet. Now it's significantly lower. So what you're seeing is actually proof that the horizon is dropping as we gain altitude, and that's evidence of curvature. You'll see as I move the camera up and down in the window, it really makes no difference to the position of the horizon in relation to the wingtip. And there we go, just passing 30,000 feet in a few seconds. Look how much the horizon has dropped compared to the first part of this video. So it looks like we've levelled off at 33,000 feet now. Let's have a look at where that horizon is in relation to the wing. You'll see it's significantly lower than where it was when we were flying at lower altitudes. Now the other thing to note is that the GPS is showing a higher altitude of 34,000 feet, and what I'll do is I'll explain that in the comments of this video, so if you want to know why there's a difference there, I'll explain it clearly. You'll also see that we're now tracking 067, that's because we're flying along the Great Circle route, so our true course does actually change. And just for the purpose of this flight, I've only put in Sydney and Dallas Fort Worth. So my little app here is plotting the Great Circle route, a straight line between Sydney and Dallas, and you'll see we're basically on it. There's clear evidence of the horizon drop there by several degrees.